That's it right there, T-Neil.
What's up, YouTube? It's CrownSpectro here, back with another video for you guys, and today we're gonna be doing a What Happened video. Now I know it's been a while since I've done one of these What Happened videos, but I haven't forgotten about them. So here we are again, once more, people. We're gonna be talking about what happened to Dead Rising. All right, you guys don't know what Dead Rising is. Of course, Dead Rising is a zombie game. You know, some of us may play it, some of us may not. You know, Dead Rising was indeed, kind of known, kind of there, kind of not. You know, some people know, some people not. Who knows? Let's hop right up into this. And it was pretty solid for zombie games back then. Zombie games were always a pretty popular genre, but back then, zombie games were really, kind of out there. It wasn't really that many variety of different genre games at the time, but there was a variety of genre games. But at the same time, it wasn't that many variety of genre games, not like there is now. But zombie games, as far as zombie games go, I say Dead Rising by far has to be one of my few favorite zombie games. Not my favorite zombie game, but it's one of the few favorites. All right, and that's only because I enjoyed Dead Rising 2 a lot. I had a lot of fun playing that game. And of course this game was developed by Capcom Vancouver. I think that's what they call that one. It's like a it's like a subdivision of the main Capcom. And sadly, I was wondering whatever happened to Dead Rising. Because I remember when they was talking about, Dead Rising came out, Dead Rising 4 released in 2016. And it was like, I heard that game was not like the original series. I never played Dead Rising 4. I played Dead Rising 2, and I think I did play a little bit of Dead Rising 3. I can't honestly remember on that one. But I had a lot of fun playing Dead Rising 2. I don't think I played Dead Rising 3 too much though, but anyways, like I was saying though, about this Dead Rising 5, sadly, it got canceled. Alright? Pretty much Capcom canned the entire project. Alright? I wouldn't even say this is really like more of a because what happened with Dead Rising 4 and it done bad. It's just honestly, basically based off the statement that was released from Capcom, they wanted to focus more on like Japanese games like Monster Hunter and games like that of sort, and it's crazy. Yeah, with them deciding to focus on more Japanese games and whatnot, I mean I can't honestly blame them because at one point Dead Rising was indeed on top. All right, Dead Rising was one indeed probably my most favorite zombie game for at its time. Before I played Dying Light and Dead Island, I still consider Dying Light one of my favorite zombie games. But before that, Dead Rising still holds a special place within me, man. And these games, honestly, they shouldn't just be canceled. I feel like they should have gave this game the redemption it deserved. Now, honestly, I can't really say what went terribly wrong with Dead Rising 4. Because I mean, I was hearing, different reviews and stuff. People said that Dead Rising 4 was like, it was nothing like the other Dead Rising games. It was like, it changed a lot. A lot of stuff in the game changed. And honestly, I can kind of see where that would be a really big problem for this series and the fourth installment of the series. Because when you got a fourth game like that, and Dead Island 2, of course, was a fun game. Dead Island 3 is a fun game to me, and it's like you got Dead Island 4, and then it's something completely different. And, not to say that it's not a bad thing to try new things out, and in different installments of new series. Of course, you want to add new things to your new game, but you should never stray too far away from the original source of what made the game great in the first place. And that's a lot of things that happen. A lot of things with different games happen these days. Games go on and continue. They're popular. They do great the first two games, or maybe the first game, or the second or third game. They'll just stray away from they'll just go way off path from the original source. What made the game good? What made the game pure gold? All right. And once you lose that source of what made the game, like what made Dead Rising, it's like, what are we playing? Like, feels like we're playing a different game. And maybe that's kind of what people was probably feeling from Dead Rising 4. Now this is just sort of a guess, because like I said before, I was just looking at a couple reviews for Dead Rising 4, and people just said it had a different feel to it. It just didn't feel the same. It was a little different. But hey, As far as zombie games go, though, like I said before, Dead Rising still holds pretty top. I don't know how you guys really feel about Dead Rising, but Dead Rising really did make a spot for itself. I think it did have online multiplayer. Oh, yeah, it did have some online multiplayer. I've been playing that in Dead Rising 2. That was actually pretty fun, actually. It was fun. It was interesting, And Dead Rising 2, when I first played it, it was like I remember being in the mall, just picking up weapons, fighting for your life, typical zombie type stuff, But it just had this different feeling to it, Dead Rising 2 had something in it that just made it stand out a little bit different. As for the future of Dead Rising, honestly, I can't honestly say, because as it stands right now, Capcom Vancouver is basically lost. Lost a lot of employees. They dropped a lot of their employees because they pretty much canceled all their projects. Capcom pretty much canceled all of Capcom Vancouver's projects, and everything's pretty much been on hold for them. All right, now whether or not they'll pick back up Dead Rising or not is pretty much unknown at this point, because you don't know whether or not they even have any plans whatsoever of picking this game back up at all. Now, if they do pick it back up, I do feel like they should indeed go back to the source. They shouldn't stray away like they did in Dead Rising 4. Because if you make mistakes like that, you should learn from them, Obviously, there was something about Dead Rising 4 that the fans just wasn't liking, it was something that made it too different. It was something about it that just wasn't sitting right. Maybe they need to look back on Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 3 and see something, take something from that. And, Dead Rising, is a popular franchise, it's pretty well known, alright? I'm not gonna say it's the biggest game, not the biggest zombie game, but I'm pretty sure Dead Rising is pretty known, alright? And as far as, like I said before, as far as zombie games go, like I said, I hold this one pretty top tier. Dead Rising has to come back, alright? Honestly, I'm kind of want a Dead Rising 5 now, because I can kind of see where, they can redeem themselves, come back, like I said, next gen consoles come on. And I know I bring this up in every video, but you gotta think about it. Next gen is a great opportunity for a lot of games to redeem themselves and bring themselves back up from the grave, alright? There's a lot of games that's been silent and dead for quite some time, and Dead Rising is starting to become one of those games. Now, it's true the last Dead Rising game came out in 2016, but I won't say that game was, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it again because I haven't played it. So it's like, let's just say it wasn't the best well received, alright? And Dead Rising, needs to be redeemed, alright? For what they made, Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 3 and the original Dead Rising, those games, they're kind of like classics now, You come back to those games, you can't help but enjoy yourself playing those games now. There should be no reason why that this game should ever fail. This game has all the sources that it needs to be great. Games like Dying Light, Dead Island are thriving, even though we have no word from Dead Island, that's a whole nother story. But, this should be no reason why, this game shouldn't be able to make its return. But maybe, Capcom just got bigger things in mind, and they got something else they want to work on much bigger. And they maybe want to focus on it a lot more. Who knows? You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. And you tell me what your favorite Dead Rising game is. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. And I'm CrownSpectro, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.